Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to yet another video on a new upcoming game you've all been telling me about and wanted me to react to it, and I think it's interesting enough to show here on the channel. Recently on this channel, we've been talking a lot about Manor Lords, a game that's coming up at the end of April that features, of course, kingdom building, or I guess building of manors in different cities and medieval villages and whatnot, and it got me interested in a lot of games that would be coming out for this year sometime in the future that also featured medieval combat or city building or whatnot, and taking a look around right at the same time, this game, Kingmakers, a game that I really don't want to explain too much about until we check out the trailer, but all I could say is that I was blown away at thinking, no way. It's kind of reminded me of, maybe you guys remember what it is. There's a Japanese anime out there that takes place around the same time, or like in this time frame. Well, I shouldn't even say the same time, but it has to do with like time travel, where tanks and units from, I think, the Cold War or the modern times go back to like medieval times or something like that. Like the Japanese modern military is trying to defeat like an old military. I don't know. Anyway, look, this game seems to be a lot like maybe perhaps Ultimate Battle Simulator. What is it? Oobs? And yeah, it seems to be a game that, I don't know, seems like it'll be fun to play once or twice, but I really hope we end up with something like Banner Lords, but also plays a little bit like Rise of Nations or Civilization or even Age of Empires, when someone levels up before everyone else and literally they have tanks and artillery while other people are still using, like, I don't know, cavalry or whatnot, which of course happened in actual warfare and still does today. But yeah, it seems like a very interesting concept. I gotta show you this trailer. Right now you're just looking at Manor Lords footage, just to give you a little reference of you know, an upcoming kingdom slash castle slash you know, medieval city builder, really. But this game is something other than that. I don't know. You let me know what you think. I think it's silly and dumb in a great way, and I really want to see it actually, you know, like I want to play it and see what you all think of it. All right, without further ado, let's check out the trailer. Let's go.
We don't know where he came from, but I'll tell you, he built our village into a city. He's the one who trained our army, who grew us into an empire. I don't know where he's from, but if you think you can stop him, you're already dead. Our people a future. I hope he can save his own.
All right, everybody calm down, calm down. Okay, so this obviously is a medieval city builder with, of course, a heavy emphasis on combat, which looks to be a little bit like, I don't know, Total War, at least in how you would expect to see it if there was no UI on the screen. Like, it looks good, it looks nice, and you see, you know, troops of different medieval factions fighting against each other, and there's a castle in the background, and then suddenly we got big old trucks, brother, and like time travel and stuff. It's like, what the hell even is this game? Like, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, no way, what the hell is this? There's no way that a game like this would be seemingly this fun or good. Like, this is typically something someone would do if they're like a solo dev on itch.io, make it a goof or something like that. But literally some of the combat reminds me of like PUBG meets Banner Lords meets like, well, Manor Lords. Banner Lords and Manor Lords, all two different games, of course. But, like, I don't know. To see it, and it reminds me of that old show, I think it was on the History Channel, where they would take, like, historical battles. Like, what would it be if a samurai met, like, a Viking? Or what would happen if, like, a Civil War soldier met, like, a World War I soldier? Or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, it looks good with the whole, like, concept of being a fun battle simulator. And then yet, oh, here we got some trucks. And then as we're sieging the castle, we have the giant helicopter flying over in the background as if someone got a Call of Duty, like, kill streak or something like that. Like, what the hell is going on? I hope this is going to be a fun game where it does play out a little bit like, I don't know, Call of Duty that way or something. But it's like, I'm getting Helldivers vibes just because of the hordes and shooting guns, because I've been playing that recently. That's all I can say about that. But the whole time travel thing seems like a lot of fun. So I don't know, man. It'd be cool as hell to take a pickup truck back to, like, ancient, like, feudal Japan and, like, run over Japanese troops or something like that, and then dive out of the truck and use a minigun on everybody. It just seems like something that might be fun to play once or twice, but depending on how it goes, if this isn't just like an experimental game like Ultimate Battle, Ultimate Battle Epic Simulator, whatever the hell it is. Look, there's a million games like that on Steam. If it's something more than that, and there's actually a story and or a campaign where you can goof around, but yet actually have goals where you can work towards conquering, like, ancient Korea or China or, like, America in, like, 1700, but do so with modern military technology or trucks, that seems badass. You remember many years ago, by the way, there was that old, I think it was Dodge Charger or Challenger commercial, maybe it was both, where literally George Washington during the Revolutionary War, he's got the U.S. flag, like, out the window while he's ripping and dipping on the British, and he's, like, doing donuts and stuff. Like, that's dumb fun. That just seems to work, and I think, honestly, that's why we like Helldivers recently, because it's like, amen, brother, freedom, democracy on the way, deploying a hell bomb. And I don't know, it's just got me in the mood for that. So it's cool to see grenade launchers, and, like, the combat seems okay. Like, we get a little bit of a glimpse from it, but we got a guy switching from, like, an AK to, like, a broadsword and then back to a grenade launcher within seconds. So I don't know. I mean, at least it's something fun to keep an eye on. I was expecting to see some combat a little bit more like Mordau or Chivalry, but it's not, and it's third person over the shoulder, which seems fun too. So I'm interested to see what this would play like if people wanted to play it historically and realistically, or, some sort of an actual fantasy game. Like, what would it be sword on sword playing it realistically? And then what happens when you mount somebody onto the back of a truck or give somebody, like, an M1 Abrams versus a catapult? I mean, this is weird. And I don't know. I see why you all were telling me to check it out, because seemingly you start putting down a few buildings, like what looked to be a barracks and maybe a farm, and then suddenly a truck shows up. So I really don't know what to make of this, but I really hope, honestly, that 2024 is filled with just more of these goof-ass games where, hey, no more, the day before. Let's get some more Manor Lords in here. Let's get some more Helldivers. Let's get some Dave the Diver, Dredge, Pacific Drive, these games that are kind of like familiar and take modern day or games from previous last few years, and then does something different that we didn't even expect and does so well. It's been a great year for driving games, by the way, or at least it will be. We have, of course, a game called, and this might be one you want to add to your radar, called Toxic Commandos, which is made by the same folks who made SnowRunner and MudRunner from before, and also making a game called MudRunner Expeditions, these, like, open world driving simulator games where now you can fight zombies. So if you're interested in fighting gargantuan hordes of, like, medieval troops, that might be a good one to keep an eye on as well. And of course, as I mentioned, Pacific Drive and other things like that. Now, this actually does feature a little bit of vehicle combat, ? So, I mean, it goes beyond a little bit of just like medieval troops versus a guy with a grenade launcher. It looks like they actually modeled in a, I forget what that helicopter is, a Ka-52 Russian helicopter. But yeah, it opens the landscape for tons of different weapons. And if this is something like Ultimate Battle Simulator, or whatever the hell the name is, it'd be really fun to actually build a castle with friends and then, like, 1v1 in a third person, like, shooting bonanza. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think of the game down below in the comments section. I thought this would just be a funny one to bring up and be like, oh yeah, this is definitely one I want to play. You guys keep asking, are you going to play it? Hell yeah. For whatever reason, it looks like a World War I game with the darkness and the grittiness, and I guess In a way, World War I really felt a lot like a medieval war at the beginning, and throughout it really kind of has those vibes with castles and ancient forts and things of that nature, so yeah. Anyway, Kingmakers is coming sometime this year. It's from Tiny Build, so it's got a legit heavyweight publisher behind it that's published many other games from the past that I've enjoyed, and I just hope this is one that people will be like, hey man, that looks dumb. I want to give it a try. Wow, this was actually fun. I'm glad I tried it. Like, I want to hear more of those stories where people are like, and then they give something a try and actually enjoyed it, and I feel like that is more of a common theme. Less Skull and Bones. That one was okay. I thought it was alright. I enjoyed what I played, but there is a huge slew now of AAA games becoming like B games, and B games and indie devs becoming like quadruple A. Yeah, the new quadruple A of 2024 are these games out of nowhere that people just made because they were fun, or they tried to make them realistic and got a lot of feedback from people, and they kicked ass. So yeah, hats off to all the devs who try, roll the dice, and people actually think it's a fun time. In fact, just one side note before I go, apparently Helldivers 2 was made on some old broken ass engine that like you can't even get as a developer anymore, and they somehow got it updated it themselves to work. I don't know the story. Look into this though. But it seems really interesting where they took something essentially like MacGyvering a paperclip and duct tape and some gum and like somehow making a game out of it. Like if that is how it worked, that's what they did. And that I love. So go devs. Hell yeah. All right. Again, let me know your thoughts down below. Is this something that's just stupid and you'll never try it? Or is this like, oh man, this looks like a really interesting concept? Let me know your thoughts. What's your first impressions? And later on, if you see more footage on this game, let me know what you think later down the line. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you.
We don't know where he came from, but I'll tell you, he built our village into a city. He's the one who trained our army, who grew us into an empire. I don't know where he's from, but if you think you can stop him, you're already dead. Our people a future. I hope he can save his own.